Happy New Year's. Welcome to being MsDiva. I'm here to be an encouragement, to be a lifter up, to be there for that single woman that may be going through an abusive relationship. And I want to tell you my journey and how I got out and how I am doing now. So listen and be encouraged. God bless you. Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about finding me. We go through a lot of, as single women, we go through a lot. And we need to find us, ourself, our individual person. We need to find out what we want to do, how we want to be, how we want to perform, how we want to act. We need to find ourselves. And that doesn't happen overnight. Once you've been in an abusive relationship, you have to build your character, build your self esteem, build your love for yourself, build yourself up. You can't go into another relationship until you have brought you back, the person you were meant to be, because you still have that baggage. You still have some of that baggage that you're carrying from that abusive relationship. You may think that, all is good, all is well, I'm doing fine, there's nothing wrong, I'm not having no episodes, I'm happy and all that. But if this one thing can happen, can trigger the whole situation all over again. So you need to take steps in improving yourself, helping yourself, becoming you. You can't help somebody else until you help yourself. And that's why I want to talk to single women, because I believe I can help, because I've been through it. I know what it's like. I know the struggles. And it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in a couple of weeks. It didn't happen in a couple of months. It didn't happen in a couple of years. It took a while, because there was things I had to accomplish. There was things I had to do. There was things I had to say to myself in order to be the person I am now. I had to start baby steps. That's what I want to always let you know, the baby steps. I had to take the step of building my self-esteem up, because I had none. I didn't have any self-esteem. When you're in an abusive relationship, you don't have any self-esteem, because you're constantly being battered, talked about, hit on, misused, accused of things, knocked down. So you have to find yourself. And you can't find yourself in someone else. You can't look at somebody else and say, I want to be like them. Because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their life is like. You don't know anything about them. So you have to build you up. You have to start building your self-esteem up. You have to tell yourself this is a daily thing. You have to get up and encourage yourself every day, once a day, once a week, once a month. That's not going to help. You have to do this, encourage yourself every day, because you have to build your self-esteem up. And building your self-esteem up, it does not happen overnight. You can't just get up one day and say, okay, I got it all made. I'm where I should be. It doesn't happen like that. Because in the back of your mind, you still are that hurt individual. For years, you have been abused. Like I said, for 11 years. The first couple of years, the first 9 or 10 years, it wasn't that bad, But then as the years went on, things started getting bad. And I was already in the relationship, loving this man, even though he did and said things. There was days where he was real nice. There was days where he was very comforting. There was days where we would do things together. And so, but that self-esteem, them days where the self-esteem was tore up, I kept telling myself, This is how it's supposed to be. He's right and I'm wrong. I'm the one that's causing this. You keep telling yourself that day after day, month, years, your self-esteem become nothing. So I had to build myself up. I had to tell myself, you are somebody. You are going to make it. You will survive. You are a survivor. You got out of it. Now let's build you up. Build yourself up. Start building yourself up. Like I said, every day you get up, encourage yourself. Say, good morning, beautiful. The words may be hard to come out because it was hard for me to say it, but I had to do it daily until I got to the point where I got up and said, hey, good morning, beautiful. It was a struggle for me to do that. But once I got that first step, that encouraging step, I built my self-esteem up a little bit because I can get up and say, well, good morning, beautiful. And then I had to go another level, another step, where I had to say, you are somebody. And once you have been told you are nobody for years, telling yourself you are somebody is a process, something that you have to do every day. Because that there part in you that was always told you're nobody, you're never going to make it, you're never going to be nobody, that grew, that was a seed that rooted. And you have to, if you have plants, when the plant gets a certain height, you got to transplant it, cut all the dead roots off and reroot it. If you have a plant that's dying, it needs to be rerooted. So you have to cut off the dead roots and then reroot it. That's what you have to do. You have to go in and cut them parts of negativeness that has been a part of your life. You got to cut it. Prune them daily. You got to take them words, the encouraging words are the pruning words. The encouraging words are the words that's cutting off the dead roots. And them encouraging words are the little roots that's going to be developed. But it's got to be a constant encouragement. Constant building yourself up. I went through a whole lot. And I said to myself, I said, one of these days, I'm going to be better. One of these days, I'm going to get past this bitterness, this anger, this frustration, sadness, loneliness. I'm going to get past that one day. And I had to do this every day. And some days when I was down, I had to be very careful that my frustration, I didn't take it out on nobody, mainly my kids. I had to make sure I wasn't taking any frustration out on them because they were innocent. They didn't do anything to me. They didn't know anything about what I went through, the abuse. I didn't allow them to know about it, see it. I wanted them to see me being okay. They didn't see me cry. I didn't want them to see that sadness because they would begin to worry. Mama, you're all right. And they would get down, depressed. So I didn't want to put that kind of frustration on my children. And I didn't have no one to reach out and talk to about it because I didn't know if anybody else went through what I went through. I mean, who could I talk to? I mean, they had a lot of counselors, you talk to counselors, about, abuse. But, sometimes the counselors, they go to school and, they're taught on how to, talk to people. But I needed a counselor. I needed somebody that went through the exact same thing I went through. I needed them to tell me this is what I did. You can make it. I made it. But a lot of times, if a person, an individual, another single woman has not experienced the heartache, the heartbreak, the abuse, they cannot help you. They can help you in areas if they're sad, how I got over that, or discouraged. But if they haven't been abused, they don't know what you're talking about. They can sit and listen and say, okay, I understand. But unless you've been in a situation where you have been abused, you really can't understand it either. You don't know exactly what to say. You don't know exactly how to feel because you've never been there. So my goal is to tell single women that have been abused, been hurt, been sad, been lonely. I want to talk to those women to let them know I've been where you're at. I've been there. I know what it feels like because I experienced it. And you'll have good days where you won't remember what happened to you. It stays in the back of your mind. Therefore, when it's in the back of your mind, you don't think about it. But then something triggers that emotion and it comes full force, running. And you feel that depression, that sadness coming like a flood. And then you have to stable yourself. You have to start saying, no, 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 I can't. You got to speak it out. If you have to go somewhere and just scream or get your pillow and scream in your pillow, get it out. You know, I want to be able to comment if you write a comment or talk if we could talk. I want to be that listening ear. I want to be that individual that says, I understand. You want to scream and yell? I'm not here to judge nothing or nobody for how they may act, what they may say, how they may say it. I'm not here to judge you for what you say because you're hurting. Hurt people will say things because they're hurting. And if you've never been hurt, you're not going to understand why they're yelling, why they're screaming, why they're crying. So I want to be that listening ear. I want to be that encourager. I desire to encourage you, to lift you up, to let you know you could do it. I want to be that individual. I may have not. I didn't go to school to be a counselor. Didn't go to school to get background degrees and all that. I didn't go to college and do all that. It's what my testimony, what I did, how I did it, how I survived, how I am a survivor, how I came out of that frustration, that sadness, that bitterness, that anger, how I came out of it. And, I prayed a lot and the Lord helped me. I'm not saying I just sat around and didn't do anything. I did stuff. I had a best friend. We would go. She would take me different places when she would minister, and I would, go with her when she's ministering, or I would go and I would minister. I would go out of town, and I would minister, or I would go in a halfway house. I would minister. I would talk, and I had, some people, some women, a lady come and you know, ask me questions. You look like you are so happy, and that's the open door for me. I can say, yes, I am now. But there was a time when I wasn't. And then that sets off an open door. And the Lord send that young lady my way, not knowing anything that she's been abused or anything like that, but he sends an individual my way, and I can start talking to this individual to encourage her. I know what it's like to be so upset you just feel like you don't want to live anymore. Been there, done that too. But that's no escape. You don't escape anything. You just make other people's lives sad. So that's why I want to take this time, this podcast, to reach out to single women everywhere, to lift you up, to encourage you, be that listening ear. I want you to hear my testimony, my story, my frustration, my abuse, how I was abused. I want to let single women know, if you've been abused, I've been there. I was abused. I can tell you about it. And that's where it starts. Somebody is going through or been through, and they need to know what to do. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. I'm tired of seeing single women hurting, not knowing what to do, frustrated, upset, getting back into another abusive relationship because this is all they know. Getting out of one, getting into another one, because this is all they know. They feel this is what singleness is supposed to be, in one bad situation into another one. Get yourself together first before you even entertain the thought of wanting to get into another relationship. Because if you still got that baggage and it's overbearing, like when you go to the airport, they weigh your luggage and see if it's overweight, and if it's too heavy, you have to pay a charge. You have to pay extra money. And if you're taking this baggage into another relationship, you're gonna pay extra. It's gonna be worse. It's not gonna be better. It's gonna be worse. So you gotta think about your life. What do you want? Once you get yourself together, you'll be a better individual. If you got children, you'll be a better mother. But improve yourself. Get yourself happy. And then you can start building. Write them goals down, like I said, and every day look at that goal. And once you reach that goal, check that goal off. And then you got another step to do. Got another goal to reach. Keep striving to be better. Keep striving to go forth. Keep striving to improve. Don't look back. Keep looking ahead. Better days are coming. Trust me, they are coming. Better opportunities. If you want to be married, the Lord will send that husband because you'll be ready. So I hope I said something to encourage someone today, to help someone realize that you're not alone. So I thank you for listening. Be blessed. Have an awesome day. God bless you.